Hey guys, it is Ryan. I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I'm a bit of a fun fanatic when I can. I like to work, but I like fun too. It's a thing. And now the truth is out there. I can tell you about my favorite place to have fun. Chumba Casino. They have hundreds of social casino style games to choose from with new games released each week. You can play for free anytime, anywhere. And each day brings a new chance to collect daily bonuses. So join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Who remembers the BJ and Bill Show all those years ago on WOLZ? Well, many have said they missed the show, and guess what? They're back. Welcome to the BJ and Bill podcast.
Welcome to BJ and Bill, the podcast, a part of the Podcast Playground Network, as we ask you to, give us that 5-star review. It is so much appreciated. Give us a little review there. Find us on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. You will be able to find us as we welcome you to episode 73.
Wow, 73. Well, where was I in 73? I was in high school in 73. Oh boy, set the Wayback Machine. You God. Yeah. I'm all right. How are you?
I'm that person, and a lot of people say that they are not that person, but I am. Like they always say, where would you like to, go back? If you could go back in time,
right?
Where would you like to, begin and start over?
I
think high school would be the place.
Why?
I don't know. They talk about your golden years or your great years.
Right.
High school to me, maybe, I don't know. I was in bands. I was a party boy. I probably, did terrible things to my health, but those, my friends, those were the days.
Those were the days, my friend. Yes.
In rock and roll bands, picking up chicks.
Oh, really?
I missed it.
I don't know about high school. College was wonderful for me. I very much enjoyed that. High school, I was way too introverted. I didn't do much in high school at all. I was not like you, like no band guy, no nothing like that. I was kind of a wallflower in high school, and I don't think I blossomed until I got to college and discovered the whole radio thing and all of that. So yeah, interesting.
Now, I just want to tell people again, when Bill goes the band thing, it's not like I went to band camp or anything. I mean, I was the guy not in the high school band marching around the football field. No, I was in the rock and roll band that played at all the sock hops after the football games, after the basketball games, and the girls would clamor and go, "Oh, the singer. Oh, the guitar player. Oh, he's the drummer."
Yeah, right. I've seen that meme or that cartoon before, that it's like the drummer never gets any love. I don't know what it is about that, but that must be that it worked even in rural Indiana for you. I hear you.
He got a little love, but he got nearly the love that the lead singer and the lead guitar player got.
Always. I mean, that's just how it works. I don't know why. So, all right. Well, whatever.
Like it's me and the bass player hanging out going, "Hey, man, what do we chop liver around here?"
Oh, well, it's a Monday morning, and that means that the lawn maintenance guys are hard at work outside my yard. So if things get noisy, I'll try and mute my microphone now and then, but they shouldn't be too bad. You let me know if it gets bad.
And of course, in my neighborhood,
yes,
what it means is it's garbage day, and we have both the recycling and the regular garbage that go the same day. And usually one goes around now, and then another one will go like later in the afternoon. I have already seen, as I'm sitting here, getting ready for the podcast, both of the garbage trucks go by.
Well, good for you. Then it'll be quiet in your neighborhood.
It never happens this early in the day.
I don't know. We had the Monday holiday last week, and I think that threw some folks off a little bit here and there. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We're back to recording on our regular schedule. So here we are for us on a Monday morning, the day after a couple of pretty big football games, actually 4 of them. So there you go. We could talk a little bit about that later on. But other than that, all is well. I'm still suffering a little bit. Actually, last week when we recorded the podcast, I was perfectly healthy. And then I ended up going to Sarasota for a couple of days to visit, well, for a day, to visit computer clients. My old computer clients needed to see me, and I had a couple of them bunched up. So it was worth the drive. So I drove to Sarasota and brought back a couple of hefty paychecks and the bug for whatever it is that's going around. So I've been coughing and wheezing a little bit. Not bad, but a little bit. So I'm definitely going to take it easy today after the podcast.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18 plus.
I'll apologize to my daughter as we speak. Her boyfriend, starting last weekend, kind of like you, had the sniffles and the cough,
Right.
and the cold and the fever and all that other stuff. And, now here it is the weekend after getting sick, like on Monday, really. Oh man, she's going to kill. She never listens to this podcast anyway.
All right. You can spill it. Go ahead.
And now he has bowel problems. Let's just say that.
Oh dear.
So I don't know what's going on with him, but like I said, it's been a week now, and he's just been down and out for the count.
And spending a lot of low quality time in the bathroom is what you're saying.
Uh-huh.
Oh boy. Oh, no, thank you. I'm going to pass on that one. If the gods are listening, I'm going to pass on that one.
And then of course my wife is, as we speak, I believe it should be,
right,
in the air, flying back from New Orleans.
Nice.
And who knows what bug she will bring back from the plane from New Orleans.
Gonna bring something, she's gonna bring some critters of some sort with her. Yes.
I think I might stay away from her for a while. I don't know.
Think that it might be like back in the day, and I'm not going to say the name of the thing, but we all remember when the world was closed down. Back in the day, you might have to put her under quarantine for a week or something like that.
Yeah, it's like I'm looking forward to giving her a big hug, but I'm thinking maybe I won't.
Maybe you could just get one of those bubbles or something, or whatever. I don't know. So, all right. So everybody is, and it's true. I don't remember if I mentioned this last week or not, but I was surfing the headlines on the news, not on TV. I don't watch TV news, but on the internet. And one of the headlines that caught my eye was, yes, everybody is sick this week. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not. Hoo hoo, ha ha, hee hee. And then here I am. I'm doing it too. So everybody is sick. I don't know what it is, but something's going around. Thankfully for me, anyway. Not all that bad.
Oh, too, and I can legally now say my daughter's boyfriend.
Oh, you can legally? You mean it's kind of like it's been official? It's like Mom, Dad, we're officially a thing now?
Well, she came, I think it was a couple of weeks ago. She said, he's now my boyfriend. And I go, well, what changed? And he goes, well, he said, we're exclusive. He's my boyfriend and, blah, blah. I go, well, what have you been the last 2 months where your guys are together every weekend?
Right.
To me, that's your boyfriend.
Right.
But now it's official.
It's official.
She has a boyfriend.
Okay. That's good for her. I mean,
now,
if that's what she wants.
Now, in my son's house, I don't know yet if they're still calling it officially a boyfriend for my granddaughter who is 16 years old. He seems to be there.
Not sure I understand the family workings there, but okay.
Well, he seems to be there a lot.
Okay.
And they hang out a lot together.
Right.
And so I'm saying, this is my granddaughter's boyfriend, but especially Mom. Mom says, my daughter will not have a boyfriend till she's 18 years old. So this boy is just an acquaintance. It's not a boyfriend.
I see. I wasn't you took the leap there from daughter to granddaughter, and I didn't follow. I didn't quite follow along, but now I do. Now I do. All right. So it's another shall we say budding relationship there. Okay,
Yes.
good. Yes.
Now,
Okay.
and you have now, do you have you always call her your lady friend.
Friend. Yes.
Do you have a girlfriend? Is it officially a girlfriend now? You've been in your relationship for a while.
Oh, I would say so. I mean, yeah, I just never girlfriend when you're my age, girlfriend sounds a little odd. Not really. Does it or doesn't it? I don't know that. Maybe we should do a poll of all of our senior people out there. When you get to be our age, mid 60s and up, do you still have boyfriends and girlfriends? Yeah, I guess you do. I guess you do.
I think it's kind of, I don't know, since I'm at this age.
You are at this age. Yes.
And I can't have a girlfriend or a lady friend.
Well, you could, but you'd get in trouble.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
But all honesty, I think it kind of sounds cool. I've got a lady friend. I've got a lady friend.
Lady friend or girlfriend or either. Doesn't matter to you.
Yeah, but I like the verbiage. I have a lady friend.
Lady friend. Yes, lady friend. Yes, yes.
I don't know. There's something about that. I'm sorry, but there's something about that sounds sexy to me.
A, don't apologize. And B, whatever, if it sounds sexy, I'm in for it. So I like that. Okay, good.
Now, I don't want to give, oh man, we're in this conversation and I want to talk so bad, but I can't.
Oh,
I can, but my wife's been out of town.
yes, your wife's been out of town. Yes.
So I went out with one of our old bosses.
Right, with Pete. I would not go ahead and finish the story and I'll tell you my part of it.
Well, he's a divorced man now.
Yes.
And he's probably been divorced. I don't know. I'm going to say around a year, maybe a little over a year.
That he's been divorced?
Yeah. So we had a little conversation.
Right.
And, he was probably talking to me in confidence. So I probably shouldn't, as they say, spill the tea.
Or beans.
But you know me.
You will spill it.
Oh, it's so hard.
You're the worst. You are the worst secret keeper ever.
Okay, so he's been separated, divorced for around a year.
Separated or divorced?
Divorced.
Paper?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, there's papers where he's divorced.
Papers are done. Okay, got it.
And I asked him, because I told him, Bill, our friend Bill, he has a lady friend.
Right.
I said, do you have a lady friend? Are you dating?
Right.
And he said, no.
Oh.
And I said, well, I would think if something happens to my wife or we got divorced, I wouldn't want to be lonely. So I think I would want a lady friend.
Right.
And he says, well, I am lonely and I would like companionship. But to me, after a year, it's kind of confusing, but after a year, he said he's not ready. And he felt if he went out on a date, he would be cheating.
Interesting.
Now, he's like my first divorce. Of course, my first divorce was like many, 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 many moons ago.
Right.
Hell, I've been married to this wife for close to 40 years now.
Right.
But I was kind of maybe that way when I first got divorced. But I kind of went a little wild and grabbed about anything I could for a while. But but he said he feel like he was cheating, and I don't know. That to me, I understand it, but I think, hey man, get back out on the horse.
Right. I have heard from friends of male and female friends. I have heard, and people that I've seen on dating sites and stuff like that. That's a thing, especially for us guys who maybe are either not so much divorced, but some men who have, and I've seen that on like YouTube videos and stuff like that, men that have lost their wives, she's passed for whatever reason, not just divorced. I mean, she's no longer on this earth. And they have a hard time letting go of that it's like they still have her picture on the phone, on their, on their iPhone screen or whatever like that. And it's like they struggle with the idea of dating again, and because they haven't fully processed releasing their wife, their I'm not going to say former, their wife who's passed, so I get it. I do. Now, like for you, like you said, it's not a thing. Me neither. I mean, it was a divorce, and for both of it, well, for you, it's been forever. For me, it's been more than 10 years. Good golly. So not a problem. I don't know. I don't know what to tell him. I mean, there's a lot of good on both sides of it. It's like you need to get over it. You need to process it. But then, yes, if you really do want to have somebody in your life, then you need to at some point say, okay, that part of my life, that chapter is done. Time for the next chapter of life. So there you go. That's today's personal development advice from Mr. Bill.
And also I like to speak the truth.
Of course.
I will share, because that's what I've always done on the radio.
Right.
And I'm going to share this, and it's true. So that's why I'm sharing it. It's not a made up story. It's true. But when I first got divorced, we were separated.
Mm-hmm.
And, like we tried to make it work a couple times, but she was bound and determined after a while. I want a divorce. It's over. Bye-bye, Saranado.
Mm-hmm.
And I will admit, and I was at a much younger age, though. I don't know if I was in my upper 20s, lower 30s, somewhere in there. I was somewhere, upper 20s, low 30s. I don't know exactly how old I was. Gentry was 4, so I'm not for sure. But I was the guy that once that I knew that I was sad and it was over.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just say it. I became a little whore bag.
Don't beat around the bush, BJ. Tell us what really happened.
That's what I said. I'm not beating around the bush. I'm telling you what happened. And I'm not proud of it, but I mean, yep, this one, yep, that one, this one over here.
Yep. Like a bad night at the Golden Corral buffet.
Yeah, that's what it was. Oh, this is too fried. I don't want that. Oh, man, this one's good. This one's too rare. Oh, man, this thing's overcooked.
One dessert after another. Holy cow. That's funny.
Here's a funny story about dating, though.
Oh.
When my daughter not first got divorced, but maybe a few months after, 3 or 4 months after,
right?
She said, I really need to put myself out there,
right?
So she went on some dating sites. Her boyfriend now, the gentleman that she's seeing now, they went on a date.
You mean a long time ago?
You know what? I don't know. Now I'm thinking about it, the story might even been they went on a date before she met her husband even.
Oh, wow.
I think it was right after. See, now I'm confused. So I like to tell the truth, and I'm confused myself. But nonetheless, she went out with him like right after her divorce, but then they didn't go out again. And then all of a sudden, somehow on, computer dating, and they hooked up again and went out on a few dates.
Right.
And she kind of remembers it, but he said, you went out with me and we only had one date and I never heard from you again. So I think maybe that's why he was kind of leery about, becoming her boyfriend for a while, but she still wasn't really over her first. And, she knew it would be a rebound relationship.
Right.
And she was just kind of like testing the waters.
Right.
And now, kind of like, a few years later, they went on another date, and now, they went on a few more and then a few more.
Now it's a thing.
Now it's a thing. Yeah. So that's kind of funny. Yeah.
Yeah. Relationships are so weird. I mean, they are there's no rhyme or reason. There's no figuring it out. There's just, is there a little chemistry here? Is there a spark? Is there something like that? Okay. Do you want to keep keep it on and see what happens. Kind of I mean, at least that's how it's always worked for me. So, but yeah, it's the online dating thing is both the worst and the best. Because yeah, it totally is awful that you are like seeing 1,000 different faces, and it's like it's the candy store thing. It's like, oh, I'll have this, I'll have this, I'll have this, I'll have that, I'll have this. And so that, in my mind, makes it so that you're never ready or never accepting the idea of settling down. And I'm doing the air quote thing, settling down. Because you're always thinking there might be something better. Maybe tomorrow I'll come across somebody even better than the one I'm talking to now. Maybe tomorrow, maybe. So that's the worst. I mean, that just makes it so your brain is like, it's that constant dopamine thing. Isn't that what they talk about when you're online doing the gaming things?
Yeah, I don't know.
Constant dopamine rush. Versus it's still better in my mind. It's still better than, because I would never, I'm, I'm well into my 60s. I'm not going to a bar. I'm not going to, whatever. How else am I going to meet someone? How else would I have met someone if it wasn't online?
You know,
The answer is I don't know. I don't know that I would.
I did talk to Pete. I said, you should try internet dating. He was, I'm just not ready. And
Okay.
I can accept that, but
Sure.
maybe you should talk to him and say, hey, I did it. And
Worked for me.
yeah, it worked for me. I had some, I had some bad ones, had some good ones, had
Sure.
one that I
Sure.
pretty well like right now.
There you go. That would be, and that's all true. I mean, yes, you get to see a lot of what's out there, and some of it is like, oh my goodness, no. And then there's a lot of, okay, maybe. And yeah, it's just a weird thing. It just is. It's just weird. So if he wants to take his time and eventually to circle back to our old friend Pete there, circle back to him. If he wants to take his time, I'm totally cool with that. Don't be in any kind of a hurry, because it's, you got time.
Well, you and I both, we're kind of in the same philosophy. Do what makes you happy.
Absolutely. You do you. Whatever works for you.
Speaking of going out with Pete, not on a date, but, like my wife was out of town.
Right.
He's kind of up here. He's a bachelor, doesn't act like he doesn't have a whole lot of friends. Maybe if, no close friends really. And I kind of told him the same thing. I really have no close friends up here that I hang out with. So we kind of made a pact, like we're going to hang out a little bit more.
Cool.
But so before not my daughter. See, I'm drinking coffee this morning because I read an article that says a study found that coffee may aid in your memory. I've screwed up my memory twice already in this show. So I'm drinking this coffee this morning for nothing.
Apparently it's not working for you. I hear you.
At least not the first cup. This is only I'm not a big coffee drinker. I'm a green tea person.
Got it.
But now I can't remember what I was going to talk about.
You were talking.
Now I'm really pissed off.
You were talking about getting together with our old friend Pete, I think.
Oh yes, that's what I was. So my wife's friend came up here because they both flew out of Orlando International Airport.
Right.
And she's from Fort Myers, her friend.
Right.
And so where do you want to go eat? Well, Miller's Ale House on Wednesday nights, because that's the night they flew out Thursday morning. We went to Miller's Ale House where you can get 12 wings for like $11.99.
There you go.
Great deal for wings, really, it is. So none of us really agreed on a flavor. So like my wife and I didn't share. The friend and my wife didn't share a flavor, but we all got our 12 wings. So by the time it was over, I ate 6 of mine. The wife ate like 5 of hers, and the friend ate like 4 of hers. Well, they're flying out. They're not going to take their wings on the plane.
No.
So they left them here.
Oh, how nice.
So I had wings Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night. Saturday rolls around when I go out with our good buddy Pete.
Yes.
And, I says, wherever you want to go, Pete, I'm happy. And he goes, I see on Facebook you go to Hooters a lot. I've never been to a Hooters. I would like to go to Hooters. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I love Hooters wings, but I've been eating wings for 3 days straight. So I didn't want to, I think if I'm taking this man to Hooters for the first time, I want to be the man, taking him to Hooters for the first time.
Never been to, but that in itself is pretty surprising. But go ahead, finish the story.
So we go to Hooters, and because I don't want to say, oh, I've had wings for 3 days in a row.
Right.
And he goes, what do you usually get? I go, well, I always get their breaded wings. Oh, is that what flavor are you going to get, Pete? And then I told him the story. I says, I've had wings for 3 days in a row. I'm getting the fish sandwich.
Right. Right.
But, I didn't want to take away the experience of Hooters if he's never been to Hooters. I don't want to say, oh, Pete, let's not go to Hooters. I didn't tell him until after we were sitting down in Hooters.
Right. That's fine. I mean, that's totally fair. And I'm if I'm going to Hooters, I'm going to have a burger anyway. Wings are okay. Like the burgers, the fish sandwich better. So that's fine. Yeah. But I get it. Well, so yeah, what I'm a little surprised at is our friend Pete, who's our age, never been to Hooters. That's a little surprising.
Because I remember back in the day, now this is after the BJ and Bill show. Wait, is it after? Yeah, it was after. Yeah, after the BJ and Bill show. I worked over at, wait, or was it not? I can't remember, but I don't know. But I worked for Cat Country and Paul Orr, Mark the Shark, and we all work started in Gator Country because we all worked at Gator Country together. So yeah, there's been 4 BJ and Bill, the BJ and Bill show.
Right.
So we used to go every Friday to Hooters there in Fort Myers.
Yeah.
On Colonial, not on Colonial. Yeah, just call it Colonial Boulevard. Yeah. 41. Yes. That's Colonial, right?
41 is not Colonial. No, 41 is Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I hear you.
Highway 50 up here is Colonial.
Okay, whatever. I don't know your local geography.
I hate
getting
keep track of
you. But anyway, I get it. I totally get it. Yes.
So yeah, I have been to Hooters many, and I don't care what you say.
Uh-oh.
I go to Hooters, and this is the truth because I told you earlier on this podcast, I do not lie.
Well, you said, yeah.
I go to Hooters for the wings. I swear to God.
Of course you do.
Now, do I mind the eye candy while I'm there? No. But the main reason why I go is for the wings.
Okay.
Now, if I knew that I was going to get lucky from one of the Hooters girls every time
I went, no, you're not.
Then I might say, no, I go for other things.
Right.
But I know.
Another
thing, I'm going to tell the truth here, people. I know I'm not going to get lucky from a Hooters girls.
No.
So I go to Hooters. I don't care how much she flirts with me. It's depending on how much she wants for a tip is how much she flirts with me.
Of course.
But I go for the wings. I really and my wife even goes with me, and she goes for the wings. So people go to Hooters for the wings.
One of my favorite bumper stickers of all time says, "The Hooters girl is not flirting with you. She's friendly. It's her job." Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it.
I hate to blow their cover, but I'm going to.
Which is?
We go to the Hooters a lot on 192 in Kissimmee. It's kind of like, it's tourist area.
Tourist area.
So a lot of their clientele are basically, tourists. And they're there like one day and they'll never be back to that one.
Right.
Well, there was for a while they were getting, buy 12 or buy 10, get 10 free. They had a BOGO deal on wings for like about 3 months.
Really?
So the wife and I were going every Wednesday for their BOGO deal.
Cool.
We both like wings. And they had this little, like when you're in like a pageant or something, it says, Miss Florida or, Miss Ohio.
Right.
The little banner or whatever you put over, you wear.
Right.
So we go in one time and the girl has this little banner on her. It says, birthday. I'm the birthday girl.
Oh.
So, she's the birthday girl. That's cool. And I gave her a little bit extra as a tip.
Of course.
It was her birthday.
Of course.
I said, we go about every Wednesday. Okay. So another girl had it on the next time we were there. But she wasn't my waitress, so I didn't have to worry about giving her a little extra
Right.
because she was somebody else's, so I didn't worry about it. So we go back a few weeks later. Another girl is wearing the little birthday.
Oh.
And then we go back. So now it's probably been 6 weeks before, since we've been back.
Right.
I mean, we go back every week, but it's probably been 6 or 7 weeks into our going almost every week.
Right.
The same girl who had a birthday about 2 months ago is wearing it again. I wanted so bad to say, is this birthday better than the one you had a few months ago?
That's awesome. So some manager somewhere had that thought to get the girls a little extra money and made one a birthday girl. And they probably every night. It's probably they probably take turns.
Yeah,
it's
pass it around probably.
Yes, yes.
So I went with Pete.
That's brilliant.
I haven't been there like 3 or 4 months because
Right.
They quit the wing deal, and I don't know, we started doing other things. So I go with Pete, same Hooters on 192, and there's a girl having a birthday, and I told Pete, I go, I don't know if she's really having a birthday or not.
That is brilliant. I mean, brilliant. Somebody somewhere, and I wonder if they do that everywhere. I wonder if Hooters just kind of thought of that corporate wide or whatever. But it would work, like you said, it would work in places where it's mostly tourists.
Yeah.
Right? Because, like you said, the crowd tonight will never be back, except for BJ and his wife and Pete and all that, who began to get suspicious. I love that. I love that. I love those little tricks. I love those little tricks. That's awesome. Okay. So just to finish the story, how was Mr. Pete's first experience with Hooters? Did he love it?
I don't know if he loved it. Here we go to Hooters.
Right.
And I didn't get wings because I'd had, wings 3 nights in a row.
Sure.
He didn't get wings. He got a burger, kind of like what you did.
Sure.
He's been dieting. Boy, I don't know if you saw the picture I put up on Facebook the other day or not.
Right.
Whoa, he has lost some weight, dude.
And what I was going to say, now there's the perfect retrieve, circle back. I would not have been able to identify him if you hadn't posted the name with the picture on Facebook, because I'm like, wow, he has changed a lot. So yeah, I guess losing some weight, different hair, different whatever. I guess, well, see, divorce does that to you. You got.
Well, I remember when I did get divorced.
Of course, I haven't seen him also in 20 years, but that's another story.
I probably lost, 15 pounds when I was going through my divorce.
Right.
I know a lot of women, lose a lot of weight when they get. My daughter lost weight when she went through her divorce, but he's really trying to keep it off and really working. I guess he went to like a nutritionist or something like that,
right,
to lose weight.
Awesome.
And he's done an awesome job with it. So congratulations there, Pete. And sorry, I spilt the tea on you a little bit there.
Yeah, it's all right. He'll figure it out. So that's good. Good for him. Good for you. Good for Hooters. Good for the birthday girls. There you go. That's good. Wrap that story. And we are about halfway through. So at this point, boy, and we made it halfway through and we haven't talked football at all. I suspect we'll do a little bit about that when we get back. Go refill your coffee, try and make your memory better, and we will be right back.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Welcome back. I'm Bill Stevens. That's BJ Odom. And this is BJ and Bill, the podcast. Dun, dun, dun. Where you can reach us at our Facebook page. Just do a quick search for BJ and Bill podcast. And as I remind you every week, you have to spell out the and. So BJ, A-N-D, BJ and Bill podcast. And you can reach us at the same BJ and Bill podcast at gmail.com if you'd like to send an email. But what we would ask is that you leave us that review wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, doesn't matter. Leave us that 5-star review, and we would appreciate it. I was just saying before we went the whole half hour and did not talk football. What's up with that?
And I know my camera's acting a little funky today, but did you notice I'm not wearing a hat today?
You are not wearing a hat today. I did notice that when we came on. What is there a reason for all of this? Or
What hat have I been wearing for the last few weeks? Probably the last month.
I know. Yeah, I've been wearing that Bucks hat, and it didn't really help, did it?
Nope.
Yeah.
And I even wore that. I didn't wash my shirt. I didn't wash my Purdue sweatshirt that I had over it. I didn't wash my hat. I had it all on, and it was all for nothing.
I didn't see any way that the Bucks were going to beat Detroit in Detroit. They're on a roll. They're on a roll. And it's going to be interesting now to see. So for those who didn't watch yesterday, of course, our dear Tampa Bay Bucks got beat by Detroit. And yeah, I was kind of hoping for Buffalo last night. Nope, Patrick Mahomes, still the genius that he is, beat Buffalo. So yeah, now you got it. It's down to the Final Four, as we say in college basketball, but this is in the NFL. So you've got the Baltimore Ravens against Detroit. Ought to be an awesome game. And you got Patrick Mahomes and San Francisco. Also should be an awesome game. So
wait, isn't no? I think you guys have backwards.
Do I have that backwards? Did I?
Yeah, because I think Holmes is going to go up against. Because I figured that would be the Super Bowl. I thought they go against Baltimore. Am I wrong or am I right?
Conference championships. Dun, dun, dun. No, you are right. I am wrong. I'm sorry. I was looking at the NFL.com homepage and they had them paired up oddly. Kansas City plays Baltimore. So that's next Sunday at 3. And then 6:30, the Lions and San Francisco. Okay, so there you go. My bad. Final Four was correct. Order of play was wrong.
And apologies. I say that really next Sunday, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Kansas City Swifties.
Oh my God.
Taking on the Baltimore Ravens. I think that truly is the Super Bowl.
I don't know. You're probably right. You're probably right. Can I say it now? I am tired of, I'm sure she's a lovely girl. I'm tired of Taylor Swift at the football game. Tired.
Let me tell you the same thing I told someone else.
Which is?
Who had the same attitude as yours, Bill Stevens.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's not really about Taylor Swift being there and they show her.
It's not?
It's about ratings.
Oh, of course it is. Of course. I think we've talked about this before, but go ahead. You're so right.
You know how many people on a Sunday are now watching just for those little clips of Taylor Swift and could care less who wins the football? And if you're one of those people,
yeah, well,
I'm
not a 16-year-old girl, I'm sorry, but you're right. How many 15, 16, 17-year-old girls are they now attracting to the NFL because, oh my God, Taylor Swift is there?
And let me tell you right now, people, I'm going to tell you if you are not a Taylor Swift fan, okay?
Right.
And you're annoyed by Taylor Swift showing up on the screen, here's what you do, and you will then enjoy it immensely.
Oh?
You turn that opportunity into a drinking game. And after they show her about 3 or 4 or 5 times,
you don't care.
You won't give a rat's ass.
You don't care anymore. I guess that's probably what Travis Kelce's brother was doing, right? Because they showed him shirt off, drinking a beer, yelling at the top of his lungs. I'm like, okay, I like that. That's good. That's really good. So yeah, I get it. I do. So, oh man, it's just.
That was a good game.
It was a good game. They were, yeah, that was a good game. There were, of the 4 games over the weekend, unfortunately, only the Tampa Bay one was kind of like, they don't have a chance. They look good for a little while, and then Detroit kind of stepped on the gas. And
you know what? People are going to hate me when I say this.
Uh-oh.
But we were at Friends. And really, they were only down a touchdown. Well, 8 points, actually. They would have needed to do a touchdown and then a 2-point conversion.
Right.
So the first play, they got the ball. And I was at friend's house because wife's out of town. They invited me over for dinner and to watch the football game.
Mm-hmm.
I look over and I say, you know what? Watch this. And I can't believe this came out of my mouth. I want to just shoot myself now that I even said it out loud. I said, watch this. Baker's going to throw an interception. And damn, if he didn't throw an interception right after I said that.
It's on you, is what
you're
saying.
Yes, America, it's my freaking fault.
Wow. That's heavy. It always comes down to something like that, though. It's close. We got a chance. I'm not saying we as in Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay had a chance.
A lot of the games that you would watch, it's like Green Bay had that chance. Green Bay had that chance as well. And then, through the interception with just a couple of minutes to go. It's like, oh, come on, man. I know.
Now, I will go on record. I have never, ever, ever liked Green Bay. Never, ever, ever have I rooted for Green Bay.
Uh-huh.
But in the back of my mind, if the Bucs didn't go, which I knew they weren't,
right?
If the Bucs didn't win the Super Bowl, I wanted Green Bay to win the Super Bowl. And you want to ask why?
I will. Why?
Because Aaron Rodgers said, I'm done with this team. I'm going to move on. Goes to another team, breaks his leg after what? 3 plays? I mean,
Right.
Not breaks his leg, but
we had the injury after 3 or 4
I think
plays,
it would have been like the funniest thing I'd ever seen in my life.
I get it. And that kid, what's his name? Love. He's going to be great. He's going to be great. So there you go.
So is Stroud. Both of those guys.
CJ Stroud, another up and coming superstar. You and I talked about that last week. Yes. So there you go.
Now I will say this too, also about the Buccaneers.
Aha.
At the beginning of the season, I didn't give them much of a chance.
No, they were.
You know what they did? They kept teasing me.
Oh.
At the very beginning of the year, I said, "Oh, these guys are nothing." Then they go on that little winning streak, at the beginning of the season. I go, "Oh man, these guys might pull it out." Right. And then they went on the losing streak. I said, "Oh man, it's just like always."
Right.
They're the Buccaneers every year when they don't have Tom Brady. They're crap. And all of a sudden, start winning again. Baker Mayfield's looking good.
Right.
Whoa. And then, they went into the playoffs. I said, they're going to, they'll be out the first game.
Right.
What do? They win the first game. Baker looks good.
Beat Philadelphia, yeah.
So I'm going, they got a shot. I'm thinking this Baker Mayfield might be the man. Then again, I'm disappointed.
I hear you.
It's been a roller coaster ride, but before we did our podcast today, I watched a little bit of ESPN, a little bit of, the sports commentating.
Right.
And I believe this. I think they put too much pressure on wins and losses on the quarterback. Somebody has to catch the ball.
Oh, I see.
Somebody has to run the ball.
Yes.
Somebody has to block so the people can't get to the quarterback. But it's all like, oh, the quarterback is so great. Oh, the quarterback, they would have won, but the quarterback just wasn't ready for it.
Right.
I'm thinking, no. Yeah, the quarterback is important, but it's a team.
Yes.
The team's got to win.
Look at you, Mr. Team Player. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's like our podcast. We're a team.
That's it.
If you got the sniffles, but we got to play through. I'm not going to blame you if, this episode bombs. No, I'm not going to say, That Bill Stevens, he didn't pull his weight. Oh, we would have had a successful podcast this week, but no, he dropped the ball.
And I'm not staring at you who's having camera problems, and all I've seen is like a kaleidoscope for the past 45 minutes where BJ Odom ought to be.
It's a wonder you're not drunk, because I'm kind of seeing this on my screen too, and I'm going, holy crap.
It looks like something out of, it's just,
And
it
it
looks like
flashes. It goes from green to blue to orange to
it's a bad trip. It really is. Watching your screen is a bad trip.
If I was doing acid or LSD, I'd be loving this. Let me just tell you right now.
I hear that. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. All right. So, but what you said before it went off the rails is completely true. It's a team thing. And I used to think that because, I've known Baker Mayfield since he was drafted by the Cleveland Browns, years ago. And they ended up letting him go. And I'm like, guys, it's not him. It's not his problem. Yeah. I mean, okay. He's a part of the team, but they didn't protect him. They didn't give him people to throw to. They didn't whatever. So you're right, BJ. You are, as always, you are correct. It's a team sport. You got to have the team behind him. So there you go.
Well, Mike Evans
right.
and Baker Mayfield, both after the game,
right,
made comments. Of course, still it's going to come down to money.
Well, yeah,
because they're both free agents after this year.
Right.
But they were both saying they would like to come back and play together as Buccaneers.
I hope they do. You're not going to have to pay Baker Mayfield a ton of money. Evans, you will probably have to write a bigger check. So, but I don't know how that works. All I know is that I hope they both come back next year. You're right. And so there you go. All right. So that's that.
NASCAR is just a few weeks away.
Man, BJ, it's just heating up for BJ Odom, ladies and gentlemen. NASCAR season.
I still can't believe my heart is working right, though, man. Those football games have
they're bad for your heart. They are.
And now my heart runs extra fast anyway because of the transplant. It's something that, the heart has to beat a little faster than the normal heart.
I didn't know that, but okay.
I'll tell you, some of these games, it's gotten up to, my heart rate usually stays in the 90s, mid 90s, low 100s.
Right.
There's a few of these games where it's been in the 120s, which is not really good for me.
Yeah, no, probably not. No. Yeah. Get your blood pressure going and all of that sort of stuff. I hear you.
Though, we've been talking, we talk a lot about this because, we're both, as you could say, qualified. We're senior citizens. You do some outside work. I do this podcast, a little bit of voice work, and that's all I do. Everything I do money-wise, as far as making money besides Social Security, is behind this microphone in my home. So I don't really go out and make any money.
Right.
So we talk a lot about retirement.
Yes.
And this is going to, and maybe this is going to blow your mind, and maybe it's not. When you think of retirement, your retirement years,
right?
At least for me, I think about people spending them either in Texas, Florida, or Arizona.
Yes.
How about you?
I would say so. I would, yeah. Texas was a little odd, but Arizona and Florida, absolutely, positively. I lived in both places.
Well, my folks, as they were retiring, and being what they called snowbirds.
Right.
The first 2 years of their snowbird life was down in McAllen, Texas, right on the Texas-Mexican border. Yeah. By Corpus Christi and
I know. I mean, I know where it is, but why,
Padre Island.
Do you know why they chose that? That's an interesting.
I don't know why they just they would go down there in their little camper and stay for a couple months in the wintertime, then come back up north.
Cool.
Then they eventually started coming to Florida, and they eventually bought a place. So that's like when I got my divorce, I just said, I don't like snow. I don't like cold. My parents have a place. I'm going to go down there and, at least try it out. Probably come back. I actually told myself I'll probably be back in Indiana. Give me about 4 or 5 months just to get my head back on.
Wow.
I never went back.
No.
But
when I left Ohio, I knew I would. Yeah, no. When I got to Florida, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm home now.
now, even when I was married, I always tried to talk the wife into moving The then wife always tried to talk the then wife into moving to Florida. And she had family and sisters, and her whole family was, back in Indiana. And
Right.
she just did not have the drive to do it. So we never moved. But boy, I got that divorce. The day we were in court and the judge said, "You are divorced." I was in Florida. I was on my way to Florida that night.
That's
But
awesome.
but back to saying, about, retirement.
Retirement. Yes.
The
Arizona,
nu-
Texas, Florida.
the number one, and because I did a little Google here, like where are the best places. First it was told me the world, and that was like really weird. People to Dubai and other places,
Oh,
was a great place.
sure.
But I asked in the United States, the number one place to retire. Are you ready?
The number one place to retire in the United States.
And this state had more cities out of the top 20 than any other state.
Really?
But are you ready for the number one?
And I'm going to guess it's not Florida because it wouldn't be a story if it was.
Yes, you're right.
And the winner-
Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Oh, you're out of your freaking mind.
That's what I say.
You are out of your mind. Pennsylvania to retire?
Yeah. And there was like 4 cities in Pennsylvania out of the top 20. It would be a great place to retire. Something about okay, here's it. This mid-sized capital city boasts a low cost of living, excellent health care facilities,
Right.
and a vibrant cultural scene with museums, theaters, and historical sites. You'll also find beautiful parks and gardens like a riverfront park and Wildwood Lake.
When they're not covered with snow.
Yes, Bill Stevens, yes. I call BS on that.
I do too. I can't, I've seen similar articles. I have seen similar posts, top 10 places to retire, top 10 small towns to live in, top 10, whatever. And I get it. There's a certain little charm about some of these places. In fact, I did one, not for retirement. I think I just did top 10, like small towns or medium-sized towns or something. And the number one that I found was a suburb of Nashville, a place called Franklin, Tennessee.
Well, that's a cool area, but that's an expensive area.
Is it? Okay. I have no idea, but it showed up as the number one place. And again, it wasn't necessarily for retirement, but it was like, nice, cool little small towns to live in or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, I don't think so. I told myself when I left Ohio, I'm like, I'm never going back where it snows again. I'm just not. I mean, I ended up spending a couple of years with my mother before she passed, closing up her house and closing up her affairs. That was brutal. I mean, just no fun at all. But anyway,
Speaking of no fun at all, I mean, yes, they did have fun, but my wife did not have fun with the weather.
Where? Oh, when in New Orleans?
Oh yeah, it was cold there. They did not. I mean, they had lots of fun and they had lots of things to keep them warm, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Lots of beverages that, kept you warm.
Yes.
But last night I talked to her on the phone and she was all bundled up, man. She goes, "I am so ready to come home." I go, "You're not going to come home to that much warmer weather, at least,
Right. I mean,
Although,
it's chilly here. I mean, we had a freeze. I don't know about your neighborhood. We had a freeze warning last night here in Gainesville.
okay, so we're in Florida, people. I try not to run my heat I try to suffer through. Maybe
Right.
when I take a shower in the morning, I'll turn on a little space heater that I have.
Oh, okay.
I woke up. It was 37 degrees outside. The inside was 65 degrees.
That's pretty cool.
I turned on the heater for a little while.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I took the chill out of the air.
I look at my iPhone with weather app right now. It is 59 as we record this, 59 degrees here in Gainesville right now. So not too bad, but I'm not going to be opening any windows if that's what you're saying.
Yeah. No snow on the ground. But
No snow on the ground. Yeah, no snow. No snow.
It's a little warmer than it has been, but still, it's a gloomy day.
Yes, it is.
At least it is here in Central Florida.
Yes, and here in North Central Florida, it is here too. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
NCFL, as we say, NCFL.
What's that?
North Central Florida.
Oh, that where you are, North Central Florida.
That's what they call this, North Central Florida. Yeah. And then when you get to, or of course, when I go visit the lady friend, as we were talking before, that she's up, St. Augustine, Jacksonville area. They call that the First Coast, which is kind of cool. I like that name too, First Coast.
Oh, I'm in the First Coast with my lady friend.
Yes, very nice, very nice. So anyway, that's
now that's a little farther north than what you are. Oh, I mean, about the same as far as northwise. But you're in the central. That's
right.
over there. That's over there by the ocean. Now, do you notice that in the wintertime, that's warmer, and in the summertime, it's a little cooler than when you go back to Gainesville?
I haven't been, it's not like I've been keeping track of those sorts of things, but it's a little bit more mild, I guess, would be the answer to your question. Yeah. Because here, I mean, Gainesville, there's no water around here. We got the swamp, where the gators live, but that's about it. So it's not, and you and I have talked about that before, like how Fort Myers, with the breeze coming off the ocean and all that was always a little more mild. So yeah, it's probably a little more mild there. I don't know. Good question.
Now, here's something funny too. Now, I don't think we're here because we retired. I'd say if my daughter wouldn't have moved up here, I would still be in Fort Myers. I want to make that perfectly clear.
Right.
But the two cities, and not really where we are, but like we're kind of like suburbs, or we're kind of in the same area.
Right.
In the top 20, there were two Florida cities that made the list.
Oh, for retirement.
Yes.
Okay. And they were?
One of them, and it was actually higher. One was Orlando. I think it was like around 5 or 6. And wow. Well, no, I don't even think it was that. I think it was like 10th or something, like 12. I think it was in the top 10, but not the top 20.
Orlando is such a big area, though. I would want to, it's like, can we be a little more specific than just Orlando?
Well, yeah, because, I'm in, I think the village, the village is probably,
right.
They say the Orlando area or Central Florida. But the second, the one that was a little higher than Orlando
was.
Are you ready? Ocala.
Okay, I believe that. I totally believe that, because they're building there like crazy. They really are. Every time I drive through, there's another monster project going in somewhere. So yeah, I believe it. I mean, and there's all like the Del Webbs and all those retirement communities, 55 plus communities, call them what you will. Everybody is down there. Everybody. So yeah, it's a popular place.
Yeah, and of course, I think the reason is, just my opinion only. I think it's starting to grow so fast now because they're going to have a Buc-ee's soon.
That's a darn good point. Darn good point. They're going to have a Buc-ee's soon, so everybody's moving there in advance to get their prime real estate position so they can be close to Buc-ee's. I hadn't thought of that. BJ Odom, always on top of what's going on in the world. There you go. I love that idea. Yeah. I love that.
Pennsylvania, though. Come on, people.
Come on, man.
Who wants to live in Pennsylvania?
I understand. I mean, I get it. I mean, and we've talked about this, how crowded Florida is almost all the time, almost everywhere. I mean, when I go back to Sarasota to visit a computer client or whatever, it's terrible in Sarasota in the winter. I mean, as we record this, it's January. I was in Sarasota in January, a regular weekday, doesn't matter. Bumper to bumper traffic everywhere. And so I get it. There's a lot to be said for living in a town where the traffic is not as crazy and it's not full of tourists and it's not full of whatever, winter snowbirds. But I'm still not going to Pennsylvania. I'm sorry. I'm just not.
Well, our old hometown, Fort Myers. every time I go see my son,
Yeah.
I start cussing as soon as I get into town because the traffic is just, I don't care what day of the week. I don't care what time. I
That's
don't
what
even care if you go there in the summertime now.
Right. Right.
You're going, what the heck is going on? I just want
Same
to
in
go.
Sarasota. Same in Sarasota.
I just want to go to the rest. I just want to go to the. It takes me forever to get there.
So I get it. I mean, so can you see I already know the answer is no. I was going to say, can you see it coming to a point where BJ Odom says, I just can't take this traffic anymore. I'm out of here. No, I don't see that. Yeah, I don't see
And,
that.
like like with the wife out of town, I went to Epcot
Oh,
on Friday with my season pass because I didn't have to go in any of the gift shop. I got to do what I wanted to do.
perfect.
I was in my little mobility scooter and my wife didn't get 10 miles ahead of me. And I'm going, dear, slow down. There's people that's getting in front of me. I can't take this thing that fast. I would be running into people.
So you went to Epcot by yourself with your scooter. Very nice.
And on the way there is just, as you go to Disney, and Disney is not that far from me, people.
Right.
There's got to be 20, 30 new subdivisions, like apartment complexes. Just, they're everywhere.
Yep.
It's like, oh my God, no wonder the traffic here. But
Right.
I will admit, being where I am, I'm on highway, I'm off 27, highway
Okay.
27. And if I go south, I get into that tourist traffic and it becomes a nightmare.
Right.
If I go north on 27, it's at least now, although there's building up that way too, but it's not that bad.
It will be.
Now, if I didn't have children in the area, in Fort
Right.
Myers
Right.
and Central Florida, and I don't like cold weather at all,
Right.
but I could see myself maybe because of the cost of living moving to like a smaller town, but it's starting to grow too in Georgia.
Right.
I also wouldn't mind being maybe in Tennessee, either Nashville or, well, but like somewhere around that area. But
Right.
I just can't see my body at this age. And of course, I'd be too far from Tampa General Hospital.
Yeah, that's a problem.
I just don't think I want to be that cold in the wintertime.
We don't go out. Yeah, I mean, look at, here's two old men bitching about the cold, but it's not like we're out there, shoveling snow or anything like that. But I understand. And there's a lot, like you said, and depending on, what the lady friend and I decide to do as far as moving ahead or whatever, but I could see that. Just like you said, assume that, you were single again or whatever, and you had that option. I could see it like you said, a small town in Georgia or something like that. That'd be fine. That'd be cool. As long as they had good internet and a good grocery store nearby, I'm okay. So,
Now, I don't want to put a hamper to your possible plans, but does your lady friend, I know she has a daughter because you talked about the daughter being,
right.
she's living with her daughter at the present time because
Right.
she's looking for a house. Does she have grandchildren?
She does. Yeah, there's grandchildren in the house there. Yes.
I hate to tell you this, Bill, but I have cousins that I talk to all the time saying, move to Florida, because they're complaining about the snow and the cold, and they're my
right.
age.
Right.
And I go, come on, just move to Florida.
Move to Florida.
I would love to move to Florida, but only if my grandchildren come along.
I hear that. I hear that a lot. But as someone who never had children of any kind, let alone grandchildren, I don't get it. I don't get it.
And you know why you don't get it?
Because I don't have grandchildren.
Yes, and you don't have children.
That's correct. That's correct.
Because if I didn't have children or grandchildren, and I'm not saying I wish I wouldn't have, because
Right.
I'm very glad that I have them.
No judgment.
Yeah.
You're glad you have them.
I would have been, my life would have been a lot different, and I would have probably lived in a lot of different places in my radio career that I didn't move to. And I just think, I think you would feel, I think if I was in your shoes, I'd feel more, let me try Georgia.
Right.
Let me try Tennessee for a while.
Right.
Oh, let me, yeah.
it's this connection to, what I see as an over connection to, and believe me, we're done with our hour here. So this is probably a show for an entire show, something to marinate on for maybe next week. I don't get this super ridiculous. Listen to my language. I don't get this super strong connection to kids and grandkids. Let them live their lives. You don't have to be around the corner from them. They have this thing called a telephone now and FaceTime where you can talk to them anytime and see them anytime. Do you need to be right there?
I'm going to just say, as a father
and grandfather,
I don't have, it's just, I love the connection.
Okay.
I like that I can get in a car and within a few hours be right there sitting next to my son, enjoying his company. I can, drive about 20 minutes from my house now, 15, 20 minutes from my house, enjoy my daughter's company.
Right.
And to me, I'm talking about me, people, not anybody else, but like holidays and things like that, when I have both of them together, to me as a father, that is the most special time in the world.
Okay.
And
Well
so
said. Well said.
I don't know. And my son and I are, my daughter, but she's like that with her mother. And of course, Gentry is not her biological son, but she's still very close to him.
Sure.
And he's close to her because hell, he was like 5 years old, when we got together. So, and he's been in my custody most of his life. So, but I mean, I don't know. It's just, there's something about having the two kids together and it makes me feel good, I guess.
Okay. And that's fine. That's perfect. I mean, good for you.
And me and my son are like tight.
Yes.
And so is the daughter, but she's, I love her the same. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say I love him differently, but I think there's more of a, he does radio, he's got his internet stuff. And so we kind of gel more. We talk about his business together and I give him my viewpoints where, on teaching, I just slapped the little shits right in the face if they said that to me. So, I can't really talk to my daughter about teaching.
Right. I get it. I do. I get it. And I would be interested in hearing from our listeners and seeing what they have to share about that. So feel free to swing by the Facebook page or whatever and, leave your comments about that. I'm sure there'll be plenty of space for that. And again, this could be a whole nother show and maybe it will be someday, but for now, we're going to have to leave it there, folks. Awesome. And BJ Odom his webcam is still freaking out over there. So it's been exciting.
Amazon's going to get more of my money today.
Amazon's getting more of his money. Amazon gets more of everybody's money every day. All right. That's going to do it. Have yourself a great week, folks. Stay healthy. Get your rest. Take those vitamin C's and whatever other supplements you have and stay healthy out there because that's all you got. Health is in. Take good care. We'll see you again next week. And until then, it's just up to BJ to say,
see ya!
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.